And, there was a moment where I was playing defense against Kade, and he went to the hole, and I got elbowed in the face, like the first possession.
Flagrant elbow.
That was, a welcome to NBA moment.
What's up, Piston fans? It's your boy, Flagrant Elbow, back with another one for you. This one is the state of the Detroit Pistons. I was going to do this maybe a quarter into the season, but with the roller coaster ride we've all been on watching these Pistons through these first 5 games, this kind of warranted special delivery for the state of the Detroit Pistons. So we're going to talk about some things that I think need to be changed and some things I think need to be happening, some good points too that we should be happy about. Remembering that this is a new team, a young team, and also remembering that this is very, very early in the season. A starting lineup who haven't played together as a starting lineup. This is all brand new to them as well. So there's some things that we can look for to change. We should want to change, but we also have to be realistic in our expectations for this team. Once again, they are only 5 games deep, but there's a lot of good points that we can talk about and some real cause for optimism moving ahead. So before we get started, in the description, check out the link for your Detroit Pistons merchandise. I may receive a commission for any purchases made. This really helps the channel, and I appreciate everyone's support if you find something that you like. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get into the video, and I would like to thank all the subscribers, 590 of you guys. I appreciate all of it. Love the comments. Keep them coming, and we're all doing a great job of being respectful, so we all appreciate that. A nice community here we're building. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get started and get into the video. So a couple points I wanted to talk about with this video was, one was Kade Cunningham and his play as of late, and also the veterans and their play or their contribution to the team, what I think it should be, and also our identity as a team. So this is a point that I want to make here with Kade Cunningham, starting with him. One point Kade mentioned during an interview was that he looks to get his other teammates involved early in the game, and we can see that, and that's hasn't been the most pleasant thing to watch, because it seems as if it takes him out of the game altogether, trying to take a back seat and get other teammates involved. So that was a point he made during an interview, and my take on it is this: it makes sense to take a back seat and get other teammates involved if you can handle that as a player and still be effective, but also if your team is already a winning team. When you're on a team that's already winning, yeah, I'm trying to build chemistry. I could take a back seat, and everyone's not necessarily looking for me to take over the game right now, so I can go ahead and take the back seat and get everybody else involved, and when I get ready, I'll just turn it on. Well, when you're a team like the Pistons right now, who's trying to build chemistry, yep, who's trying to build a winning culture, yep, but a team right now that keeps getting slapped in the face each game, as a leader, you got to take command. You got to take control. Take control of the game from start to finish. Everything else will work its way out. Sometimes we can be too nice. Two nice people holding the door for each other. Who's going to go through the door? So Kade did that when he played against the Hawks this last game. Kade went out there and did his thing. What was the outcome? The outcome was favorable. Even though the Pistons lost, they played a very competitive basketball game. Kade looked good, almost could have went for 30 or 40 points. I don't know if fatigue got to him later in the game or what, but Kade could have easily went for 30, maybe 40 points that game. Maybe even more. He finished the first half with 22 points. He was a beast out there, a dog. So in my opinion, if Kade goes out and he's aggressive that way every game, which we've seen, I think that was the first game, including the preseason games, that was the first game this season that we've seen Kade be aggressive early on like that. And it was a good game, a fun game to watch. So I think that he can help his teammates out by being aggressive. By doing that, he can, being aggressive, he'll open up things for everybody. He'll motivate everybody. If Kade's aggressive, he gets his screen, he goes to the basket, that opens up something for the shot makers like Bojan out there, Sadiq Bey, Livers if he's out there. It opens up a lot more for the other teammates. So I think in that way, being aggressive, you still can get your teammates involved. So that's my take on Kade as far as that's concerned. And like I said, last night against the Hawks, Kade looked good. For the Pistons, Kade scored in 37 minutes. He had 26 points. Also had 8 rebounds and 6 assists. That was a good game. That was a good game, in my opinion, for Kade Cunningham by just going out there and being aggressive. The other games, he scored points versus the Washington Wizards. Kade was able to get 19 points. So that's fine. His scoring has been okay. But my point in all of this is that Kade needs to be aggressive. And in doing so, it sets the tone. The tone needs to be set early in the game. We have to quit getting punched in the mouth early in the game and then trying to figure our way out or turn it on when we can. I remember the Pistons and Larry Brown used to get mad with Chauncey Billups and Rip Hamilton and the whole team because he used to say they wanted to turn it on when they got ready. He couldn't stand when they would sit back and play ball but wouldn't be aggressive or wouldn't have high intensity until they got ready. And like he said, you can't do that. You got to play the game the right way. So I think Kade does more help to not only the team, not just the game itself, but to his teammates by being aggressive and letting things open up for them as he penetrates and is aggressive with the ball. The defenses have to focus on him more. So hopefully, we got another game coming up tomorrow. Hopefully we'll see Kade being more aggressive from the start in games to come. With the veterans, we got some good veterans on the team. Veterans that can score, veterans that can shot block. But veteran presence is needed now, not just for scoring and shot blocking and cheering the team on the sidelines, but pulling those guys aside, helping them to appreciate what level of intensity they need to have in order to be winners. In order to be winners in the NBA, there's a level of intensity you have to have. And sometimes our young core lacks that. Bojan Bogdanovic, I've seen him pull Kade, pull Ivy, pull him to the side. He's talking to him, encouraging him about something. Nerlens, pull Duran aside, showing him some things that he needs to work on. We need that from the veterans. And you've seen Bojan. Bojan's very emotional. You can tell he doesn't like losing. So hopefully we have the type of veterans on our team that can start that fire, light that fire up under their young teammates, and help them, along with the coaches, help them get it going, help them to understand the seriousness of each game and why they need to focus on being intensive on the offensive end and having a high level of defensive intensity and effort when they're out there. That's like a little while ago, there was a whole lot of rumors going out about Draymond Green coming to Detroit, especially after the fight. Oh, Draymond might come, it'd be good to pick him up. I was against that for the money. I'm not fine with paying Draymond the money he wants, but can you imagine the intensity and the level of the toughness that he would bring to Detroit if for some reason it worked out and it financially made a lot of sense? Can you imagine the identity of the Detroit Pistons all of a sudden? All of a sudden, just by his presence being on that team, he would motivate this team to be defensive juggernauts in the league. Everybody will be putting stops, getting blocks, getting steals. It'll be a no-fly zone for real in there. Even though Draymond's undersized, Draymond's tough, and he's all the way defensive-minded. So I think that would help out tremendously if the veterans we have can step up and light a fire under these young boys. And hopefully they have, because they look like a different team playing against the Hawks. They look like a whole different team. So that's something that I appreciated watching them play this last game and looking at these veterans. I'm hoping that that's the mindset that they too are instilling in these young guys. The next point is our identity. I posted a comment during a Woodward Pistons video. Kool-Aid and Sean were talking about the team, and about some things. And here's the comment here I posted up there. I said the team needs to identify that they want to be a defensive-minded team. They need to be coached into that mindset, shown what it looks like through film of even other teams and times when they got it right, and motivated more by the veterans on the squad to do it all game long. They lack effort and intensity on the offensive end and defensive end. They've shown in fourth quarters with the game on the line that they can do it. They just need to do it all game long from start to finish. And I'm going to continue to say this, that defensive intensity needs to be the identity of this team. They're young, and they can and should be able to run with other teams. They should be able to run them out the gym. With the right type of direction, right type of coaching, this team should be able to run other teams out the gym with their defensive intensity. When they're locked in, they're impressive and exciting to watch. I love seeing them get out in fast breaks off of steals, easy baskets in transition. That lights a fire under the rest of the team, and it blows out the flame of the opposing team. So I think the Pistons should use an identity of having a strong defensive presence and intensity, and let this be the secret weapon for this team. Shots are going to fall. Somebody's going to drop 30 one game. Somebody's going to drop 30 another game. So the offense will be there. You got players like Bojan that can go get 20 and 30 easy. You got players like Ivy. He don't even need a play call for him. He's going to get his shots up, and he's going to get to the basket and the free throw line. But I think defensive effort should be the focus. Easy transition baskets light a fire for your team and blow out the flame of the other team. So that's my take on the identity of this team. And I know I've said that maybe in a couple videos, but I'm adamant and I'm strong about defense and the power of defense in this league. Seen it. I've seen defense lead to championships on numerous occasions, not just with the Detroit Pistons, with other teams as well. Defense wins championships. Offense is going to be there, but defense can be there every night. Defensive intensity and effort can be there every night. Getting on the floor for loose balls every night. Getting easy transition buckets every night. That can be there. Blocking shots, being a presence in the paint, rim protection, that can be there every night. So I don't want Detroit or the Pistons to focus on, hey, we got to turn into the Golden State Warriors. That's not ideal thinking. That's not winning thinking. Every team's three-point shooting is not going to be 40% or above. And shooting three-pointers don't necessarily get you to the free throw line. Doesn't get the other team in foul trouble. Doesn't break down defenses. Doesn't set your team up necessarily for offensive rebounds. Offensive rebounds is a key component to a winning team on the offensive end. But if you got your 4 and your 5 all standing out on the three-point line trying to shoot threes all the time, who's getting rebounds? So shooting threes is fine, but needing a stretch 4 and needing a stretch 5, not necessarily. Not necessarily. So focusing on defense, I think should be the main thing and the main focal point for our identity. So that's what those points were the ones I wanted to talk about: our identity, the veterans and the veteran presence, and the role they should have, in my opinion, for the team, and also Kade. Some things for Kade to work on that I feel he should continue to do moving forward. Continue to do moving forward in order for this team to be successful. Once again, we won't necessarily see that all of this translated into a bunch of wins. But for right now, during this step, during this level of the restore, we want to see exciting basketball and a culture being developed here. A culture of toughness, a culture of defensive intensity. And I think that will carry over in the long run as free agents come here, as we go into another draft, possibly a lottery again. That can be helping us move in the right direction toward being championship contention and contention in the East. So, with that being said, we got another chance to be able to win another game, or to win a game against Atlanta again. I think they match up well with Atlanta. Hopefully Ivy will be back as well, so it'll be interesting to see how Casey does his personnel. Hopefully Corey Joseph won't be the anchor of the team late in the game. That was horrible. So hopefully we won't see that necessarily. We can see Corey in small injunctions here and there, but Killian Hayes puts Trey on lock, and he's better defensively. I'd rather see him out there, especially when he's aggressive. So that's my take. That's my state of the Pistons right now. With that being said, that's what I wanted to share. Once again, thank you all for 590 subscribers. Appreciate everyone's support. Check out the link in the description for Detroit Pistons merchandise. Really helps the channel. I thank everybody for your continued support. Everybody, stay safe.